GMGers and GMGettes, are you ready?
Countdown, 60 seconds to get ready for the Good Morning Gang morning show. It's time to get ready. Get your coffee, tea, trees, or whatever need be. Then put on your seatbelt. We're going on a journey. We'll discuss trending topics, music and breaking news to help get your morning right. Big Phil speaks, giving you his one-of-a-kind point of view. It's a GMG, and we're family. So as we count down to the start of the show, prepare for the unexpectedly. If you know, you know. Tell 1 to 7 of your friends to come in. Share your love for the show. We're about to begin. The GMG countdown.
Yeah, it's time to wake yourself up. It's the Good Morning Gang morning show. You feel me?
Good morning to you.
Hey, looky, what do we have here? I don't know, probably the best morning show ever hit the atmosphere. Let's be clear, there's plenty others that do it B.I.G., but keep it at a buck though, none to get you up though like G&G. With all the news and real point of views you can use, light and heavy topics we peruse, even a laugh or two. What you talking? Good morning, gang, be the issue, and take your friends and them, can and all, come on in, tune in. You ain't gonna want them in state, and even the trolls and haters that hate us, we end up being their favorite. Cause from 8 to 10, we get it in, believe that. I mean, from where else could you go when you a part of the show? Definitely GMG, cause when you show love, we show love back. First thing in the morning, we get you through, so after the yawning, wash up and wipe your face, get your snacks and come on in, get comfy, but most importantly, in all caps, do. Yeah, baby. Good morning, gang. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy, Big Phil Speaks. And this is the Good Morning Gang morning show, brought to you by myself, and that good GMG. What is that? That Good Money Gang. Listen, we about to have at it. This is going to be one of them ones. I got a topic-packed show for you today. You hear me? So if I was you, I would make it do what it do and tell a friend to tell a friend. Go tap in 1 to 7 of your friends, co-workers, family members, boo-boo, bun things, significant, insignificant.
others, spouses, hell, your enemies, whatever. This is going to be one of them shows, ladies and gentlemen. Mark my words, huh? Before I get to the roll call, let me give you this warning, huh? Everything's allegedly, though, but warning.
Warning, warning. Federal law, Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107 allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted material under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. Fair use allows for the quoting of copyrighted material in the creation of a new work for purposes included but not limited to criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research. Fair use preserves the free flow of culture, baby. That part.
That part. Listen, let me check and see how things is looking on the other end of the spectrum, huh? Yeah, okay, it's looking good. I'm going to keep it there, huh? Yes, indeed. Roll call time. Ooh. Listen, who we got in the building? Who we got in the building? Listen, Polo Dolo riding solo from the good Kansas City way. He in the building. Crack baby, trick baby, crack baby. GMG. Vishu is in the place. What's goody like the mob, huh? Peep scheme, Wagwan, brethren. Zolan. What's goody like the mob, GMG. Uptown Nelly Nell, Uptown Jay from around the way. My good homegirl is in the building. Des D, super. What's up? 1/3, matter of fact, part of that HR team, you feel me, is in the building. Miss A Block, I know your ass is out there listening. Bring your ass back on home, huh? I know you in love and things. You feel me? But we miss you here at the good GMG, Miss A Block. Ow. Shout out to you though. I know certain things have been going on, Miss A Block. God bless you, and that good Bella, tell her that I give my love. You feel me? Sexy Sugar Mama, she's in the building. Good morning to ye. Who else we got in here, huh? Who else? Time to call. Good morning to ye. She's in the building, huh? Young Dress, salute. What's goody like the mob? GMG. Who else? Am I missing anybody? Nazir Fontaine, Peace God. What's goody like the mob from over there on the good IG side? Angie Lenz, Lil Glenda June, Justin's mom, Hakuna Wire, Lady J 610. Y'all need to come on in, my friends. You feel me? Listen. Again, we going to have added this morning. We got an action-packed, or should I say topic-packed show for you today. We going to have added today, so make sure you don't walk away, or you better take your phones with you, your laptop with you when you go. Have to take a tinkle or something, because you're not going to want to miss none of this. You hear me? It's Friday. TGIF, the 26th day of June. Can you believe it's over? June is basically over. I can't believe it my damn self. It seemed like we just was in January, February. But guess what? I blinked my eyes a couple more times. We gonna be around my birthday, the greatest day of the year. You feel me? But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, tap in, tune in. This is the Good Morning Gang Morning Show. Y'all know what I need to do. I got to start this off on a good note, on a high note, on a funny note. Listen, shout out to the Northeast Groovers for the soundtrack. It's a DC go-go band, and this is their original song, The Water Dance, huh? Some of y'all need to catch the rhythm of the stroke, because y'all never learned how to swim. You feel me? Check this out. My life was over. All she had to do was put her damn foots down in the water. She laid back like, listen, Lord, I give my life unto thee. I give my life unto thee. She was scared. Look. And the girl that grabbed her, I don't know if there's a family member, I don't know who that was. Damn, they yoked her up to get her up out the water. You don't stand your ass up. And she act like she was out in the middle of the ocean struggling. 20 bandana, whoop, was goody like the mob. Dance, them your peoples, dance. Dance is them your peoples out there, right? Peeps keep, Lord, help her so. Hey, Nelly down, Lord have mercy on her. So which one is yours? What you talking about, Peeps? Which one is mine? What you talking? I had to start it off on a light note. I seen that. I was like, damn it, lady. She came around that bend like, whoo, this is faster than I thought. Oh, she hit the water. Oh, splash. Not making fun of nobody. Hold on, let me preface this. I'm not making fun of nobody that has nearly drowned or for those that have lost somebody to a drowning. I'm not making light of that. But in this situation, ain't no way in hell that lady was going to drown in that little bit of water. All she had to do was put her damn feet down. I don't know what it was. I don't know if she had her mind blanked out for a second coming around that bend of that damn drop or whatever the case may be. But her ass should have known damn better. She looked like she was going to just lay there like and let it take her over. What the hell is going on? Facts, but a little funny. Yeah, definitely funny. Because it ain't like she was in no deep water. All she had to do was put them dogs down. You know what I'm talking about? And and that's on the dead pig knuckles. You know what I'm talking about? Inside joke. Y'all wouldn't know. Some of y'all heard it. On the dead pig knuckles. You feel me? Peeps can't say a fupa floats. Damn it, Jim. Damn it. Miss Piggy Lace, why you over there on the good IG? Come on over to the YouTube. You know where we at. Listen. Ladies and gentlemen, some of y'all, they say black folks don't be knowing how to swim or whatever the case may be. I'm here to stand in testament that I beg to differ. Now, some of y'all ain't been too much near no water, maybe because, there wasn't a pool nearby, or your parents ain't make you go to the Boys and Girls Club, or you didn't get to the beach, or you didn't go to the neighborhood pool, or you had a traumatic experience when you was young, whatever the case may be. But don't be afraid of that water. You might want to be afraid of what's in it, depending on what body of water you in. But don't be afraid to learn how to swim. And, it's so much fun in the water. Pig knuckles is crazy with you. That's a fact, Daz. I put that on the dead pig knuckles. You hear me? Listen, I'm gonna keep it pushing. But she better act like she know coming around that bend like that. She's like, Lord, I almost didn't make it home to my grandbabies. Stand your ass up, lady. She was having a whole anxiety panic attack rolled up in one, huh? Come on, mama, come on. For those that miss it, I'm gonna play it one more again, huh? She never learned to swim.
Yo, why you put your feet down, bro?
Never learned to swim. Yeah, shout out to the Northeast Groovers. Big Raw. Trey Deuce, Dave, 32, Hug, Jammin' Jeff, who was on that song, Smoke, who was on that song, and the host of others that made up Northeast Groovers at that time, and some that are still on Northeast Groovers. You feel me? Hey, Young Drez, man, what's wrong with her? What's wrong with Auntie and them, huh? What's wrong with Big Mama, huh? She came around that corner. She said, "Lord, I should have rethink. I should have rethought coming around this slide. I know I got a little extra junk in the trunk, so the gravity just pulled my ass around that corner too fast and into that water. I wasn't prepared. I was just trying to breathe in. I was trying to breathe in so I could hold my breath for a second, and I didn't get a chance to." Listen, she almost drowned. That lady pulled her out of her fit. Yeah, almost had her freeing them things. Y'all peeped that, right? She was about to free them things on live and living color. Huh? About to have grandmama bosoms out there to the public, huh? We didn't want to see that though. No. Keep them things under wraps till it's time to truly free them things, ladies and gentlemen. Huh? Yes, indeed. I'm going to move on, though. I'm going to move on. Listen, there's been a lot of talk. There's been a lot of talk and discussions about gas prices lowering or going down and all the things. And some people, yeah, hoorah, hey, yeah. All the good things, right there. Yeah, I knew Frumpy Frump was gonna come through for me. I knew he was. Yeah, the gas, the plane, the boss, the plane, and all the things. Not realizing there's a catch and a 22 to all that. There's a catch and a 22, all that. And before I give my dialogue, y'all watch this damn video here, and this will kind of tell you where I'm going with it, huh? Lower gas prices, my ends. Paul, no diddy.
Now, everybody's super excited that the price of gas is beginning to go down, but before we start rejoicing, let me show you a few things. I was always taught that reading is fundamental, so let's read a few things. This is our lovely gas pump, and our new gas pump has some signage on it. We now have 15% ethanol in the unleaded and the mid-grade. Only the premium has the 10% ethanol, and check the price. And ironically, at this gas station, only premium fuel is available. But let's take it a step further. This new beautiful sign here says that this 15% ethanol used only in vehicles that are 2001 and newer passenger vehicles, and only in flex fuel vehicles. Do not use in other vehicles, boats, or gasoline powered equipment. It may damage and is prohibited by federal law. So darling, if your vehicle is older than 2001, this fuel is not recommended for you. But let's continue, shall we? Look at this beautiful new sign here that says it's a minimum fueling volume of 4 gallons. Dispensing less may violate a federal law. So not only do you have to have a 2001 or newer vehicle to use this new fuel, you cannot dispense less than 4 gallons at this facility, or you're violating federal law. Still looking to celebrate about this lower gas price? Tell me what's to celebrate, because I don't see the cause.
Ain't that about a BIEI? Did y'all hear that last part? They didn't put in some regulation that you got to get a minimum amount of gas. You know, for some of us, you know what I'm talking about, who be penny pinching, or, you know what I'm saying, you trying to only get like a little couple of something. Dez just said, what'd he say? He said, man, gas $5 a gallon. I just put enough in there to get from A to B. Dez, that ain't gonna float the boat. You're gonna have to put an X amount of gas in there minimum, or you're gonna be shiznaggy out of luck. Huh? But I don't think people are really peeping the play. High as giraffe ass, that's a fact. I don't know if people really peeping the play. What they trying to do is get some of these older cars out the way. Even your classics, they trying to get them out of the way, because if you put this new gas in older cars, it's gonna jack up the engines, which means you're gonna have to get a whole nother engine and all the things, right? And some people are like, man, I don't want to do all that. And I'm hearing reports that the gas in some of the newer cars is not. Thank you for the gift. I appreciate that. I thank you for the gift. I'm starting to realize what those things are now. Thank you. Um, So I've been hearing some reports that as they roll this out, that it's damaging newer cars too. But what they really trying to do is, I get my gas from B&J. Well, all right. What I'm hearing is that it's damaging new cars. What they trying to do is usher you into these newer cars. Remember the technology I talked about in the last show? All of it's connected. All of it's connected. They done took over Venezuela. They doing this and doing that. You know what I'm talking about? Gas should be extra plentiful at the moment, right? There's no reason why the gas should be going up. It should be going down, right? But at the same time, they trying to push you, usher you into this new era of vehicles where the technology is policing you and monitoring you and deciding what it is you can and can't do. It's all connected, but be mindful. Depending on your car, just be mindful with this new gas or whatever the case may be. Or you might have to up your ante and get that 91 or that 93. You know what I'm talking about? Some of y'all ain't never put 93 in your gas tank, never. Some of us have had to put 93 in our gas tank always. So it all depends, right? But life is about choices, and folks, we're going to have to make some. Y'all see what today's show is, ladies and gentlemen. Today's show is, we on episode 320 of them things. Can you believe it? 320 of them things headed in the wrong direction. You see how the young black folks headed one way, one of them saying go that way, somebody else, the lady, the woman argued like, nah, we need to go somewhere else. And I put a subtitle, time to choose a different path. I'm really putting thought in some of these thumbnails. I'm really putting thoughts and trying to push a message through the thumbnails as well as some of the content that I'm putting into each and every show. So pay attention, if y'all would, when I put the thumbnails up, because they all got a meaning. It all got a meaning. Just with everything that's been going on, from Carmelo Anthony to Cartel Bo and his situation, which I'm gonna get into later, to just all the things that we're dealing with inside our own backyards and from the enemy without, from the enemy within and from the enemy without. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been led, hoodwinked, bamboozled, and led astray. We've been headed in the wrong direction in a lot of areas of our lives. It's time to take a different path. But I'm gonna keep pushing on. I have two cars. I have a 2020 Acura ILX and a 2024 MDX. The ILX full up for $40, and MDX stay parked. Gas is crazy. I know that's right. I'm gonna keep it pushing. I'm gonna keep it pushing, huh? This next one, ladies and gentlemen, share this live if you would. Share this live if you could on all your favorite social media outlets, and also go ahead and send it in an inbox or a DM to 1 to 7 of your friends or your family members if you would, huh? This is gonna be one of them ones. Where is it at? Where's the story that I need to pull up? Here we go. Here we go. Are black farmers starting to get reparations? Are they starting to get reparations, the black farmers? According to the National Black Farmers Association, the USDA issued 2.2 billion in payments to approximately 43,000 farmers who experienced racial discrimination in the agency's farm lending programs, with individual payouts ranging from 10,000 to 500,000 and an average award of 82,000. The money was allocated through the Inflation Reduction Act and represents the result of decades of advocacy, protests, and legal battles led by black farmers across the country. National Black Farmers Association's president John Boyd, who spent 40 years fighting for his this moment, calls it historic, says no matter how it's sliced, the 2.2 billion in payouts is historic. Boyd described facing in-your-face discrimination from USDA loan officers who spat on him, called him the N-word, tore up his application, and threw it in the trash. While the average processing time for a black farmer's loan application was 387 days compared to less than 30 days for white farmers. In 1910, black farmers owned more than 16 million acres of land, making up roughly 14% of all farmers in America. Decades of systemic USDA discrimination helps strip that legacy away generation by generation. The 2.2 billion does not give back the land or erase the pain, but after 40 years of fighting, black farmers finally made the government acknowledge what it did. That matters. Now, my question is: Are these loans? Are these grants? Or just straight out payouts? That's my question. But I do think that a lot of these black farmers are well overdue. Well overdue. Crochet Love by D. I see you. Good morning to ye. Welcome into the Good Morning Gang Morning Show. A lot of farmers have had to fold. Some farmers have been pushed out. Some farmers have been muscled out, extorted, crops burned, crops poisoned, both by Monsanto and pollination of genetically modified organism seeds and pollen or whatever the case may be. It bad weather, natural disasters, unnatural disasters, and all the like. So I'm glad to see that something is coming back. Again, like they said, it doesn't give back all the land that they might have lost or had to give up because of, but listen, it's a start for them. It's a start for them. And if they're able to flourish, guess what? We could possibly start getting some better food around here, some better food in our bellies, in our refrigerators, in our stores, or whatever the case may be, because there's a whole lot of junk and bullshiggery that they're putting on the shelves for us to partake in that are doing us dirty. Shout out to Desmond Williams. I see you, Antoine, LCSW, Shawty Woods, Ian the Gardener. Y'all come on over to the good YouTube. Why don't you, huh? Right, Desmond. Ain't it something? It's different out here, but at least it's a start for them. At least it's a start for them. It's a drop in the bucket compared to monies lost, lands lost, lives lost, and the disrespect. But the fact that they've received something might be hopeful for people that would like to start farms and actually curate vegetables and fruits for our enjoyment, pleasure, and nourishment. Good morning. Good morning. Farmers work almost 16 hours a day, man. Listen. To hear that the application process has been taking over a year for black farmers as opposed to 30 days for white farmers, that's different right there. And if that's not racial discrimination, I don't understand. I do understand, but why the feds ain't get involved with that, even though the USDA is a Fed department, why the FBI or one of those other agencies haven't gotten involved in this situation and locked some folks up for racial discrimination and all the things, because that's like a hate crime. If you think about it, that's a hate crime. Stopping somebody from providing for their family and a way of life and a way of living, that's a hate crime. And back in the days, it still goes on, but back in the days when slavery was ended and certain plantation owners allowed black folks to stay on the plantation and share crop on their land, meaning they were able to plant their own gardens, etc., tend to their own cattle and pork, pigs and all the things, chickens, but they had to split a part of the profits either with the plantation owner and or they worked the fields and split some of the profits for the I'm getting tongue twisted, for the plantation owner or whatever the case may be. That was discrimination then. And then when farmers went off and left the plantations and bought their own land or set out and claimed land and started building their own farms and things of that nature, you had people that came along to destroy their crops, to extort them, to bully them, to harass them, and or unalive them to get hold of the land that they had, because they felt as though should nobody of black skin, should nobody of African American descent own any land under their eyes in the United States, although we've been here before they even got here. But we're gonna leave that alone. We're gonna leave that alone. Whoever that guy is, whose name is Desmond, he have to be smart because all Desmonds are smart. You know who that is? Oh, because your name is Dez, huh? That's what it is. I just caught that. Shout out to that. Shout out to that. I'm gonna keep it pushing though, but kudos to the black farmers. Kudos to the black farmers. And hopefully they putting that money to good use. I guess the 10,000 for micro farmers on up to the 500,000 of much greater, much bigger farmers, and or those that were discriminated the most. But they said the average payout is around what they say, 80K. That's enough to get some new seeds in and some new, maybe a couple pieces of equipment or something. Well, shout out to that. Moving on with the move on. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, do I want to go here first? Yeah, I'm going to go here. Ladies and gentlemen, please talk to your children. Talk to your teenage children. Hell, talk to the young adults. There's a trend going on. There's a challenge going on that is hurting our loved ones, that is unaliving our young ones, that are leaving our young ones either brain dead, vegetable states, or with long-term or life-lasting illnesses and injuries due to this challenge. What challenge is that? It's called the Benadryl Challenge, ladies and gentlemen. The Benadryl Challenge. The Benadryl Challenge is a dangerous social media trend on platforms like TikTok that encourages teenagers to ingest excessive toxic amounts of diphenhydramine. Sorry about that. Hopefully I didn't butcher that too much. An over-the-counter antihistamine to induce hallucinations. Medical experts and public health officials are sounding alarms following tragic incidents where participants suffered severe anti cholinergic poison, yeah, leading to seizures, cardiac arrhythmias, comas, and irreversible brain death. Hospitals have reported an uptick in emergency room visits related to this challenge. The FDA and pediatricians urge patients to lock up over-the-counter medicines and talk to their children about lethal realities of doing viral online dares or whatever the case may be. We have to be really mindful, ladies and gentlemen. Peer pressure was something when we were younger. It do make you sleepy. Peer pressure was something when we were younger, but just imagine how it is now in this day and age with social media being what it is, and influencers and people, project and show these lifestyles that sometimes is a mirage for even their own life. And even in these challenges, some of the stupidest challenges have come across these internet streets, and some people that invent these challenges are sick, demented, weird, evil, mentally challenged, and everything else. No disrespect for those that might, have a mental illness or whatever the case may be, but it's some folks that are evilly wicked in their mental deficiency or whatever the case may be. And to put out these stupid ass challenges, and for people to actually fall in line with these challenges and start to do these things, man, it's crazy. This young lady that's in here, she's 15 years old. I think she's already passed or whatever the case may be, but she did the Benadryl challenge, and she had an adverse reaction to it and ended up becoming brain dead. And then I guess they took her off of life support allegedly, and she passed on or whatever. Nah, I was thinking about some things at the same time I was talking, so I got tongue twisted. One pill, so many pills they take. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. Shout out to So Serious and Eternal Links. Internal Intox. Sorry about that. Y'all come on over to the good YouTube. Why don't you? Listen, y'all be mindful, ladies and gentlemen. Talk to your children. Talk to your children and let them know the importance of knowing that everything they see on these internet streets isn't real. Everything that they see on these internet streets aren't rightful to do or say. And that some of the things that people are proposing or promoting are foul and not meant for our children, not meant for adults to partake in, let alone our children. Be hella, be hella real about it. You having a hell of a brain fart. Yeah, exactly. Be real, be really real with your children, because I would hate for anybody that I know have come in contact with, has been a part of this show as a speaker or in the comments or part of GMG period, that I come to hear that one of your loved ones, one of your children, one of your grandchildren, one of your nieces and nephews, have gotten involved with this challenge, and something has happened to them. It would be a very sad thing for me. Young Moolah, what's goody like the mob? Come on over to the good YouTube. Ken Jade, come on over. Charlie Hustle, what's goody like the mob? Connie Baptiste, I see you in the building. Good morning, GMG. We in here. Yeah, be real with your children, though. I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna keep pushing. Speaking of people with things going on internally, this next video talks about a young man. Well, he's not so young. He's he's not a not s- damn, I'm getting tongue twisted. He's not that young of a man. However, he's an autistic brother who has been locked up multiple times. Some of you all up in the New York City area might be familiar with this individual and some of his escapades or whatever the case may be. But before I do that, let me do say this. The teen that's in this picture is Oklahoma teen Leah Presson, suffered seizures and cardiac arrest after allegedly attempting the dangerous Benadryl challenge social media trend. Her father revealed that Leah had tried the challenge before and is now hospitalized with no brain activity. Uh, that's just to give a little bit more insight into that lady. But now moving on, this brother here, um, I'm gonna let the video speak for itself, and then we're gonna get to it, huh? Listen, I find that story very intriguing. I'm gonna go watch that documentary as well. But is the system failing our people that deal with different mental deficiencies, or who process things differently, who learn differently, who may have attention deficit, who may have autism, who may have bipolar disorder? Is the system failing people? Is the system failing people? Young Money Wave Gang, Young Moolah, baby. What's goody like the mob? Yeah, I'm around like ties, ain't going nowhere but up. You feel me? They definitely should have gave him a job. Yeah, I know Nelly Neal got to watch that. The Peep Scheme said failed him. The fact that this individual, okay, some look at it like, man, he know better. He should know better in doing what he's done, right? But you don't know how far on the spectrum left or right he is, whether he's mildly autistic, moderately autistic, or I wouldn't think that he's extremely autistic, but you just never know, or whatever the case may be. And the fact that he's been in and out of jail so many times, or whatever the case may be, you would think that somebody, a caseworker or somebody, an official, an activist, hell, a humanitarian would have heard this story years ago and sought to get him better help. Sought to get him better help. Connie Baptiste, they definitely have failed that man, because when people get locked up a lot of times too, and they have deficiencies, mental illnesses, disabilities of some sorts, sometimes they're picked on. Sometimes they're picked on. Not all times, but sometimes they're picked on, which is a highly unfortunate situation. But that gentleman seems to be very brilliantly minded. Seems to be very brilliantly minded. Might be socially awkward, might not really fully understand that you don't do certain things that he's done, or whatever the case may be. As the clip said, he didn't hurt anybody. He didn't run the thing off the track. He didn't, he stopped at the stops, let people get on and off, and all the things, or whatever the case may be. Probably, and I'm speculating, in his mind, he was living his best life, or doing something positive, or whatever the case may be. I think our system needs to check itself and revamp the healthcare system, mental health advocacy and programs, because they've closed down some of the programs that were set aside for those in our community that have had mental, mishaps, or mental disadvantages, or mental illnesses, or whatever the case may be. And I think nobody got hurt every time he stole a train. That's a fact, Young Dreads. That's a fact. Most autistic people have brilliance. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. For the things that we see, or that they lack, mentally, or physically or emotionally, they soak up, and how can I put this? Because my youngest daughter is mildly autistic. They soak up information differently, and sponge. They're like some kind of hydro sponge. I don't know how to put it, but like my daughter, she certain things bother her, not as much as it used to, but like certain loud noises bother her. But she soaks up so much information, and is very, very autistic. Very, not autistic, but artistic, or whatever. And she's a little socially awkward, just a little bit, but very bright-eyed, very smart, very intelligent. She gets off in a project and don't want to see it, undone. You can't play cards against her, Uno or nothing, because she hate to lose. She hate to lose. It frustrates the mess out of her when she lose. But um, I use my own child as an example to say, um, just because people have been labeled with, or deal with certain disabilities, ailments, issues, shortcomings, doesn't mean that we should write them off, and that they are not capable of doing great things, because most of them are. And some people in high places that we don't even know or understand or realize are mildly autistic. Just so you know, do your due diligence. Definitely failed him. He would have been a dedicated employee. That's a fact. Just sad how the system is. My son was failed by the system. I'm sorry to hear that, Connie Baptiste. Sorry to hear that. And I think that there are in certain areas, there are some very nice programs. There are some very nice programs, but overall, there's not enough programs. There's not enough information. There's more information coming out, but it's not enough information out there so that people could fully understand, when they see people, with different things going on, that they have some understanding for them, and not look at them as weird, and not want to shun them, or look like they're lepers, or got some kind of contagious disease, or whatever the case may be. We got to do better. We got to do better. And that's where we need to get on our local representatives that we hire in, that we vote in. I said hire in, that we vote in to our various areas, and make sure they get on top of that, because our children, our loved ones, our family members, they all deserve the best. You feel me? They all deserve the best. I have a nephew, 5. He's a piano genius. He's mute, but his diet is different. So he's becoming better. But the piano, he's like Mozart. Okay, peep scheme. Shout out the nephew. Shout out the nephew. You be surprised. You be surprised. Children that are on the spectrum, as they like to say it. I just say just have or that are autistic. Some of the genius characteristics and qualities and attributes that they have, whether it be facts, whether it be being able to give you the historic breakdown of all the things that we would take for granted and not even think about. Some are hell of brilliant mathematicians. Some are hella brilliant scientists. Some are hella brilliant musicians. Some are very artistic and paint a Picasso or paint a Rembrandt or just you some are artists, some are rappers, some are singers, some I'm getting tongue twisted again. Some have so much, because this is personal to me, so I'm trying to word this in a certain way. Um, some are so brilliant that it escapes the general perception and even the powers that be. We need to do better than I'm gonna get off this. I'm gonna keep moving forward, but for me, this one is a personal one. Dad says my 7-year-old autistic and he very smart. He loves trains. He had brain surgery and he brightened my day. Me and my wife go through it. He only eats certain foods, but that's my boy. I love him. Shout out to you indeed, Dad. Shout out to you indeed. The medicines they give is full of metals. Have to fix them diets so it can come out of them. Ain't that about a bitch? Instead of continuing to institutionalize him, they could have used his intellect to benefit the subway system behind the scenes. This way, his talents would have been utilized for good and not endangering. That's a fact to others. That's a fact. And I think, according to the clip, they eventually did. They eventually did. But after so many years of locking him up, just making him a criminal and not seeing his mental as for being what it is or whatever the case may be, and working on a program specifically for him to help him. Well, not just specifically for him, because there's a bunch of others, and and there's a lot of talk, a lot of scientific data, and a lot of theories as to where autism comes from and how it's shown itself in our households through medications, through the things that we take, through the things our parents have taken, et cetera, and has been passed down through the DNA. It's a lot. It's a lot to that. It's a lot to that. Those that are tapping in over on IG, come on over to the good YouTube. Those that are watching from X, come on over to the good YouTube, huh? Be a part of this situation. I'm gonna push on. I'm gonna move on, or whatever the case may be. Reading your testimony almost got me out of pocket, Dez. Almost got me out of pocket. So I got to push on. I got to push on. I'm gonna briefly talk about Camelo facts, but it can be reversed. That's a fact, peep scheme. And some individuals definitely can. This pastor speaks out about, and I'm gonna be brief. I'm not gonna over inundate you today with Carmelo Anthony footage, coverage, or whatever the case may be, but I will be keeping his name relevant. I will be keeping his name active. I will not, until justice is fully served in this situation the proper way, I'm going to definitely keep pushing at it. But this pastor who was in the courtroom doing the trial, speaks on what he noticed from the prosecution, the judge, and more importantly, Carmelo Anthony's representation. You hear me? Y'all check this out, why don't you?
I was there the first day when they selected jury. I was there the last day when they gave closing arguments at the invitation of the family. And y'all, I sat in that courtroom disgusted because of the fact that the defense did not defend Carmelo Anthony. I sat there disgusted because the prosecuting attorney then had the nerve to paint Carmelo Anthony as a monster of a man, and then he closed out with this, and y'all reach your own conclusions. He told that jury of all non-blacks, he said, you have an opportunity here in Collin County to determine the kind of community that you want to live in, as he pointed at that little boy who suffers from seizures. What do you think he was saying to that all non-black jury? And you gonna talk about you're going to talk about de-escalation. You're going to talk about telling our kids to calm down. No, you tell the kids to calm down. Who I went out to that Collin County courthouse and they came up to me. They said, thank you for being here, Pastor. But my question to you is, we can't defend ourselves because George Zimmerman can hunt down Trayvon Martin and he can get off for stand your ground. But this boy, our friend, can't even defend himself. We are not safe.
Listen. What he said was so pertinent and so timely in that situation. Music for good God, too. Good morning, darling. Yay. Right, Pastor Haynes. Salute. Late, but I'm here. Oh, this story is so sad. That's a fact. Again, I'm not going to inundate you with Carmelo Anthony footage or coverage today, but in that instance, I thought it was so relevant to not only his case, but to what a lot of our youth, young men, young women, hell, and men and women have gone through and are going through in their streets, in their communities, in the court of law, etc. We have to stay forever vigilant. We got to stay on the heels and bumpers of the local legislators, the local delegates, the local representatives, whether it be your aldermen, your councilmen, your mayors, your senators, congressmen and women. Stay on their bumper. Stay on their ass. Pause, no diddy, so that things can change. Because like the title of this show, we're headed in the wrong direction. Time to choose a different path. Internally, within our own race and culture, as well as just as human beings, period. It's time to choose a different path and head a different way. Because if not, just like that old song says, we're headed for self-destruction. We're headed for self-destruction. Word to BDP, KRS-One, D Nice, Stetsasonic, Heavy D, all the rappers that were involved with that song. You feel me? But I'm going to keep it pushing. This next portion is going to get some people riled up. This next portion is going to get some people riled up, ladies and gentlemen. And what I want to know is this lady right or is this lady dead ass wrong? Hold on. Is this lady right or is this lady dead ass wrong in her thought process when it comes to what she felt as though her baby father should have did or whatever the case may be? Y'all check this video out, and whether this is a skit or not, this situation happens in real life to people. And I want to know your thoughts. I want to know GMG's thoughts on this. I want to know where you stand on this. Do you think she's bugging? Do you think she's right on? Whatever the case may be. Without any further ado, here you go. This woman here.
I just found out that my son has a PS5 at his dad's house. I told him that he needs to go ahead and bring the console over here to share with his 6 siblings. If not, he's not allowed to go see his dad anymore. My son goes to his dad's house every weekend, and every time he comes back, he's always talking about, oh, this is what I played on the PS5, and this is what I did, and blah blah blah. And his siblings here do not have that, and to me, I don't think it's fair. So I told him that if he wants to continue seeing his father, he needs to grab that PS5, bring it over here, so his brothers and sisters could play with it. It's not fair that we here cannot afford it, but your dad can. That's not fair. And if I told him if he doesn't want to bring it over here, then he needs to go ahead and trash that PS5, because it's not fair that he has a gaming console and his other brothers and sisters don't. I told my son, next time you leave your dad's house, you make sure you pack that PS5 in your bag. And if you don't, we are going to have problems. There's going to be consequences for you not bringing it home.
Keisha Hall can have herself a ball if her assets are in order. Welcome to the building. Is it me or is this lady out of line? Is it me or is she bugging? Ladies, women, I definitely want y'all to chime in. The other kids she has are not his child, are not his children. He's spending quality time with his son, and he bought a PS5 for his son to enjoy himself over his daddy's house. And she's being mean, miserable, et cetera, to make that declaration. So she's threatening to keep her child from seeing that father if the father doesn't relent and allow the PS5 to come over to their house so that her other children can play it. Now, it'd be different if he was with her or whatever the case may be, and he only let that child play with the PS5. It'd be different if the father said, you know what, bring all the children over, let them come over, spend a weekend or whatever the case may be, and he only allowed that child to play the PS5 or whatever the case may be. I think some of y'all need to get a hold of yourself. Some of y'all need to be checked, because I was just talking about mental deficiencies and mental illnesses. This is a form of mental something going on, because she done bumped her head on something. She done lost every little bit of her crazy mind. That's a fact. Peepskin said, tell your new man to buy it. Connie said, out of line. Dad said, bugging. Nazir said, what? Hold on, let me give you the propers. Nazir. Nazir said, what? Angie, hey Angie, good to see you in here. She said, dead ass wrong. Charlie Hustle, that's crazy. But knowing me, I would buy it just to show how she is. Listen, she's out of her mind. I think it would have been wrong if he bought it home and didn't let the kids play. But what goes on at the father's house is their time. That's a fact. I had to pull over to reply. She needs to get her ass whooped and purchase one for her other children in the house. She is being mean and miserable. That's a fact. She does raise that. That's what I was gonna get there too. I was gonna get there too, Keisha Hall. That's a fact. The reason why I'm showing this, because I did go check out her content on TikTok. She has a whole TikTok channel, and she rage baits along the line of relationships, of being like the bitter baby mama, or that the daddy ain't doing right, he deadbeat, and all these things or whatever, right? So 9 times out of 10 is content for her. But I chose to show this footage because there are individuals that think like this. There are individuals that go through a similar scenario, whether it be, if we can't be together, you can't see your child. If you're not doing XYZ for me and mine, you can't see your child. Oh, you got a new woman, you can't see your child. Oh, you elevating in life or trying to do something productive? Oh, you can't see your child. Now, yes, ladies, there are instances where they're deadbeat daddies that ain't doing the right thing, ain't paying their fair share, aren't spending enough time with their children. I get that, and it is very much true. But there's been other stories on these internet streets of unfortunately, of women speaking similar sentiments. That if you feed your child, you have to feed all my other children. If you do this, you do that. And it's like, wait a minute. Our child is our child, whether we purposely made that child or it happened like a oopsie. But I did not participate in the procreation of any of your other children, so I'm not obligated to. Now, me personally, Now, me personally, and I was speaking about this just last night. Me personally, like when I was raising, my three or whatever, right? They're now step brothers. Their now step brothers would come around sometimes to pick them when the mother came to pick them up or whatever for their weekend or whatever, and they might not have eaten, so I've given money for them to get some food on the way home. But I also gave money so that the two little brothers could get some food too, because I just think that it would have been wrong for them to just eat in their face like that because they were present. But that was my choice. That was what I chose to do. It wasn't that I was made to do it. It wasn't that that was my responsibility to do it. Hell, even the two sons' father kind of was puzzled and taken aback that I did it. And I'm just like, I look back to like my grandmother. My grandmother fed not only all of us, but she fed neighbors. She fed neighbors' children. You get what I'm saying? So I have that in me. My grandfather would do for us and do for other people, our friends and stuff. So I have that in me. The community would do stuff for us, and we would do stuff for different ones in the community. So pause. So I have all that in me. Pause. So to tell somebody what they must do or they got to turn on Jazzy, what's goody like the mob? Come on over to YouTube. To tell somebody that they must provide something for the benefit of your children, and we're not a couple, we're not together, or whatever the case may be, to me is some bullshiggery if I ever heard of it. If I ever heard of it. Let's say the parents had a custody issue in the near future. This is evidence for the father. That's a fact, Angie. That's a fact. That's a fact. And if she was to, if there was a custody order already in place and she denied him visitation, she could lose custody of her children doing that. Ladies, you going through it with your children's father, or vice versa. Fellas, you going through it with your children's mother. Be mindful of the things you say and do, because it could turn around to bite you in the ass, and you could lose the very things that you love the most, your children. You could lose custody of them. You could lose access and all the things. Peep schemes that I still be laying up and saying. Peep scheme is bugged out. Listen, I think you better let it go. But look, if you like it, you love it. You hear me? Have at it. Miss Thick Whip, come on over to the good YouTube. Rich Port, come on over. Mark Wilson, come on over. My son's father is like that as well. Everyone eats, but that's his personality, his wholesome heart towards kids, because he was adopted, so he has a big heart. And Keisha Hall, that's the thing. That's his choice to do. Well, that's his choice to do. Just like it was mine. Because even my ex was looking at me like, what? I'm like, yeah. The kids getting some McDonald's or whatever case may be. And I seen the little boy's eyes light up in the back seat, like, damn, I want some McDonald's. I'd be miserable and dead wrong. Good morning, Jazz. What's goody like the mob? I would be kind of heartless especially if I got it, to not pitch in and say, hey, when you get them something, when you get mine some, get them some too. Get them some too. And I think for some of us, we've lost touch with that philanthropic side of ourselves, that empathetic side of ourselves, empathic side of ourselves. I'm sorry. She can go to the store and purchase a used one if she can't afford a new one. She's wrong. That's a fact. It's just food, feed them kids. Facts. Facts, Des. Facts. But I wish like hell, man, I ain't even gonna go there. But I'm gonna just say this. I went through hell and high water with the mother of those three kids or whatever the case may be. And I'm a living testimony that no matter what your background is, what your past is like, that God will reign supreme in situations. Might take a minute, might take a while, but he will reign supreme in that situation. And thus, partially how I got custody of my children. You feel me? The world is desensitized. That's a fact. That's a fact. But yeah, I thought definitely that she was bugged out. When I first saw it, I said, "Nah, this can't be real." So I went over to her TikTok and I said, "Oh, this is what she on. This the type of ish she on." And for those that do this type of content, they need to be checked at the door too because it feeds a narrative. It feeds a narrative, and I get it. People hone into drama, toxicity, bullshiggery, and the whole 9 yards. But it's like, damn. Every man ain't a bad man, just like every woman ain't a good woman. You get what I'm saying? And we got enough with society trying to keep us divided and keep us on some bullshit to one another to keep feeding these narratives. However, this is a very real situation that happens. No one should be forced to do what's not in their heart to do. What if the shoe was on the other foot? Would she give up the game system to the son's father? Speak on the sexy sugar mama. Talk about it. How about in vice versa situations? A man with several children as a mother, would they feed the kids dinner either at the table or fast food? Talk about it, Keisha Hall. Talk about it. Talk about it. And let's be clear, some people are just raised different too. Some people are raised different, and especially in this day and age we live in, where everybody's so segmented and closed off to each other. A lot of people like, if it ain't mine, I'm not doing it. Would the women feed his other kids? Man, listen. I think that in that type of situation, she could have posed a question to ask if it was a possibility. But to make a demand and say that it must be so or must be this way that I want it to be is asinine and is a bunch of bullshiggery if you ask me. But hey, who am I? I'm just Big Phil Speaks. I'm just Big Phil Speaks. I hear y'all and I agree. But in my situation, I have many godchildren. I have many more because I help to provide for all their brothers and sisters to adopt them all. I get that. I get that. But we don't know music for God to this woman's portrayed circumstances, whether she got a man in the household with her or whatever the case may be. We don't know what the relationship is between the mother and father. The father, if I got a PlayStation 5 over at my house, I 9 times out of 10 I'm not gonna send it over to the baby mother's house or ex-wife's house if there's a bunch of other children around, because if it gets broken, who has to fix it? If it gets broken while it's over there, is she gonna put money up to fix it? Hell no. You said Christmas is expensive. You better believe it. Christmas is expensive. But shout out to you, Music for God too, and quote unquote adopting many godchildren. That's a blessing that God will pay 100-fold. That part right there. Speaking of circumstances, situations, and how to deal with them and how to deal with them. Here lately, there's been a rapper on in going through it on social media by the name of Cartel Bo. Cartel Bo has been put in a pickle. Pause and no diddy. Y'all probably seen the footage where it seems that a woman and a man were trying to kidnap his children, snatch the children out of the car, etc. He gets to fighting the one dude who's supposed to be an Uber driver, but it seemed like he more than just an Uber driver to the situation. That's right. Just don't like how she demands. That's it. Um, but it has caused the allegedly the children's mother or the child's mother and the other individual to either have already been arrested for charges or about to be arrested for some charges. And the rapper's in a dilemma. He's a hood individual who's in a dilemma. He's in a pickle. And in I'm gonna let y'all listen to his own words, but in a nutshell, he has to pick the streets or pick his family. What's more important? To look like a stand-up individual in these streets where it's a dead end, where the streets don't love you, where a lot of your homies will either do you in, backstab you, line you up, lie to you, leave you stranded, or does he lose his family? That's a fact, Nazir. Or does he lose his family who said they will cut him the hell off if he does not go talk to the prosecutor about what took place. His mother, his other family members allegedly have said this to him. Man, always put your kids' well-being first. F some street cred. That's a fact. Before we go deeper into it, I want y'all to hear from out of his own mouth. Pause. No Diddy. Cartel Bo. Streets or his family.
I know a lot of y'all waiting on me to make a statement. I just got a call from the district attorney's office, man. They asking me to come in, sit down and give them a detailed statement of everything that happened. I hung up the phone and called my people. I told them I'm not going down there making no statements and shit like that. My family say if you don't go down there and make some statements to make sure your children safe, they ain't fucking with me no more. But if I go down there and make a statement, I'm a rat. The reason they need me to make a statement is because they had to look into the paperwork as far as custody concerns to see if she categorized for kidnapping. And due to the fact that she lost custody and I have full custody, it's kidnapping. Fool, I don't know what to do for real, bro. They both went for assault. It's attempted kidnapping of a child. It'll be burglary. I think they said burglary of a motor vehicle, but I know it's burglary because she opened my door, and that's what they said. I know trespassing, but they trying to get all the cases they want, and they need me to make a detailed description of everything that happened in order to put the video footage and line it up with the case they want to come at them people with. And I'm lost, gang. I ain't gonna hold you. I mean, just truth be told, the only reasons they even got their footage is because they was lying, saying I punched her in the stomach and all that type of shit. So I had to show them the footage to show I never put my hands on her. And that's what got her and him booked. Police say he's an Uber driver. They don't understand the deepness and details of their relationship. I don't really give a fuck. I just don't know what to do. Do I go down here and give these people a statement? Or do I sit here and just, have some family members cut me off because I didn't want to go down here and what they quote unquote say do what's best for my child or my children? I'm just at loss, man. Shit a lot, bro. I can't do no rat shit, though. I don't understand why they need me and they got the video footage anyway, but I'm just lost right now, bro.
Rock in a hard place in a rock. I'll go further. He's between a rock, a hard place, and a pit bull. You hear me? Yeah, that's his kid's mother, his child's mother, at least one of his children. I don't know how many children he got. Sexy Sugar Mama said, if you have full custody, why did you say she was a prostitute trying to kidnap your kids? Maybe she outside. Sexy Sugar Mama. I don't know. Jay said he had just got custody of his kids. That's different. I thought a stranger tried to snatch his kids. No. They had, I guess, had a custody battle, or she lost custody of her children and he got full custody. And if you watch the video, Charlie Hustle, they pulled up on him, I guess either when he got home or was like he was grabbing something out. I guess he had either put the child in the car and went to grab something else, and they pulled up and she tried to grab the child out the car, in the car seat and the whole 9 yards or whatever the case may be, on the footage, by way of the footage. He either, I'm guessing, either he pulled up and either was taking something in the house before he took his child out, or vice versa. He had just put his child in the car, went back to get something else, and she pulled up and tried to snatch the child out of the car, whatever the case may be. And that's what, where everything took place or whatever the case may be. And the gentleman driving got out and seemed like he was helping her or whatever the case may be. However, they saying that he was just an Uber driver, but it seemed like he's more connected to her than not or whatever. But Cartel Bo, you can see him fighting the dude or whatever the case may be, and then going and getting his son out of the car, whatever the case may be. But it's a whole lot to it. Sexy Sugar Mom said, I wish the which the true whole story comes out, that part. Where did he go? Where did he go that the baby was alone in the car? It's too hot to leave. No, he wasn't gone for an extended amount of time, Keisha Hall. He you clearly see him leave from the vehicle. As soon as he left from the vehicle, I guess went towards the apartment or house or whatever the case may be, the car pulls like right up. So it wasn't like he just left the child unattended for like an extended period or whatever. People take that word rat wrong. If someone mess with my kids or family, give me some cheese. Now, if it's some shit I've seen in the streets, I'm Helen Keller. It's different. And I share that sentiment. I share that sentiment, Daz. We in a day and time where people are picking and choosing what's rat activity and what ain't. People utilize other people's business for content, but then will turn around and if you do the same thing, they call you a rat. People will tell on people they in their family or people they grew up with, but act like they not ratting. And the people that know that people done told on people will hang around certain individuals that they know told on individuals, but will condemn other people for doing the exact same thing. It's a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of hypocrisy. That whole scenario is off to me. When he came out, his friends came out and took the child out. She also did some videos saying that they have more than just one child. Okay. More than just one child. But yeah, his friends came out near the end. His friends came out after the altercation happened, after he fought the dude and all that, and she kept trying to take the child out and all that. Makes me think about Big Tigger's wife's story with her daughter and ex. This could have turned out bad. I'm conflicted. Yeah. He told someone in the car to lock the doors, but you never saw anyone else come out. She says he left their 1-year-old in the car. Yeah, because he got out the vehicle. He got out the vehicle and went towards the house. I hope that the whole story comes out too. But at the end of the day, let me say this, right? Because what was she doing around his premise or wherever he was at in the first place? 1. 2, why did she wait till he leave the vehicle to try to get the baby out the car? Why did he do it while he was standing there? Why, if she was right within her rightful means, or if there was a situation where there was animosity to where she felt as though he wouldn't just hand over the child, whether it be for visitation, her turn for visitation, or whatever the case may be, then she should have came with the police. She should have came with the police to protect her rights so that she can get her child to be on her way. I don't know that there was nobody in the car. I know that he was calling his peoples and telling them to lock the car. From what I recall, I could be wrong about that, but he was hollering to his friends to come, one to help lock the car and all those things. That ain't no rock in a hard place. Feeling like you owe the streets more than you owe your kids is asinine. That's a fact, Nelly Nail. That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, his name is Cartel Bo. You're right. She should have gone through the proper procedures, right? Because it seemed like she was sneakily trying to do it. Like, I'm gonna hurry up and grab my child while he ran in the house real quick or whatever. Because he might have went to go get the baby bag. He might have went to go get something to put in the car to go wherever they was going or whatever the case may be. However, whatever was going on, we never know what it was that was going on one way or the other because of where the footage starts or whatever. What I do know is the way she went about it wasn't right. And I'm not jaded due to my own circumstances or situation. I'm only speculating off of what I saw or talking about what I saw on the video footage. I don't know too much of the backstory. I don't know why she lost custody of the child or children. I don't know what made her pull up that day, or was she watching and watching and waiting to get her chance or whatever the case may be. I don't know. But what I do know is she should have did it the proper way. Then all this wouldn't have happened. It could have ended bad. Somebody could have got hurt worse than maybe a couple fists put on them. Somebody could have got shot. Somebody could have got unalived, even including down to herself, or Cartel Bowl even. It could have really went left. It could have went severely left. So I'm glad that nothing more happened than what did. And just that quick, that baby was gone, and you can't leave a child alone in the car at all. Never ever. So any soon to be young father watching this later on replay, please understand that. That's a fact of Mundo, Keisha Hall. If she's a good mother, I feel bad for her. True. But, but, I'll say this, Nazia. What would cause her to lose custody of her children or child? What would cause that? That's maybe a different conversation and maybe a bigger question. But in a lot of circumstances and situations, in times past, I know that mostly women get the benefit of the doubt, and the father sometimes gets the shit in the stick. And some women will say that, men ain't active, men ain't around, da 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 da. I get that. In certain circumstances, that is very much true. But then there are certain circumstances where the mother and father get along and they co-parent and all the things or whatever the case may be. Or they might not personally get along, but for the sake of the children, they don't act up and act out. And then you have those that, you know, want to be present in their children's lives, and the mother's doing dumb shit, vengeful, spiteful stuff, and withholding the children from them or whatever. And some are afraid to go to the courts with it. Some don't know what their legal recourse is in going to the court, and some just get depressed or whatever the case may be. I will say this: whether you are a mother or a father, never relinquish your rights. Never relinquish your rights. Even if the courts is trying to make you give up your rights or trying to snatch your rights, fight for your rights. Even if you don't know the law and feel unsure about what your rights may be, no matter if you got a criminal background or not, do the research, do your due diligence. Never give up the fight. Never give up your rights to your children. Right. If a mother is putting herself in danger, her, her child, something's not right. Just my thoughts. That's it right there, because that could have been done differently. That could have been done differently. His friends could have came out the house bussing. He could have bust. Pause. He could have bust. The dude that was with her could have came out the car bussing. It could have really went some kind of way. Could have really went some kind of foul. A lot of times it's financial reasons why the father gets custody, not necessarily because the mother is a bad person or an addict of any kind. I work with children. I hear all the stories. That is true in some instances, Keisha Hall. You all right. You all right. You all right. But I seen the mother, she put up a video where she was refuting everything, and she seems to be like an internet influencer slash rapper or something to that effect. I'm not quite sure because I didn't look too deep into it as of yet. Peep Scheme said his name is Cartel Bo. But they're gonna get to the bottom of it. They are gonna get to the bottom of it. I see the consensus is saying put your family over the streets. I concur. I concur. Either you gonna handle it all the way like the streets gonna handle it and do something about it, or in protection of your children, or you gonna go take the legal steps to make sure that your children are good. It's one way or the other. At this rate, someone else in their family who is secure and willing to take custody for the well-being of the children until they both get their ish together. Well, I mean, allegedly, well, I guess not allegedly. I guess the court said that he was fit to get full custody. And that's the thing. They didn't give him partial custody, or where they share custody. They gave him full custody. So they must have seen some kind of wherewithal with him to do so. I know the rules and the laws and the statutes are different state to state or whatever the case may be. But for somebody that went through it, that went through the process and know that they give temporary guardianship, they give temporary custody, then they give full custody if it's so deemed necessary. If they both in the rap game, grandma taking care of those kids. Ah! Peepskin, you bugged out talking about he knew the judge. But yeah, his plight opens the door for the conversation for a bigger discussion. Are the streets played out? Are the streets dead? The rules, the codes of the streets, are they myths? Because if you go through time, even down to some of the Italian mob individuals that certain ones in our communities emulate either by namesake or trying to do the activities that they did, a lot of those mafia and mob bosses and underlings worked with police, gave police information to get their competition out of the way, and vice versa. That's ratting, right? If you go to the police and tell the police anything, right? That's technically that's supposed to be ratting. But they've done it throughout the years. But then will come behind that and want to emulate and take on names of these individuals that have done these things or whatever the case may be. And then historically, even in our own communities, different ones have told on different ones. You talk about from nobodies to the top bosses of drug organizations and gangs have told on other individuals. Hell, in my area, Rayful Edmonds, that a lot of y'all have heard about, that came home recently and then passed away or whatever the case may be. He told on individuals. Nicky Barnes told on individuals. Up in New York, in just about every state, there's a story of somebody higher up telling on somebody. A personal friend of mine who was out in the streets, his plug told on him, and he was less than the plug. His plug lined him up to get locked up, get charged. It's a vicious game out here. It's a vicious game out there. And the streets don't love nobody. The streets don't love nobody. The best thing somebody can do that's outside is get to your bag and get the hell on out the way. Don't be too greedy. Get what you need to get out of it if you can, if you're allowed to, and get the hell out of the way if you're fortunate enough to be able to do so. A lot of people get caught up in the hype. A lot of people get caught up in their greed. A lot of people get caught up by the trappings of the street, and some people fall victim to the street. My friend is a flight attendant, and child missed 20 plus days of school due to grandma not being able to take her while mom was flying. So the courts gave dad full custody. They felt the absence was enough reason. Wow. And unfortunately, mom might have had the need to get another profession. Unfortunately. I don't know what was up with grandma, though. I don't know what was up with grandma. I don't know if she was sick or injured or just didn't care enough. I don't know. That's a tough situation, Keisha Hall. Never heard of any women telling. That's a lie. I've heard of women telling. I've heard a lot of women telling. If he has full custody, why be afraid of ratting on her? If she's unfit, she's unfit. You're protecting your child and the other children too. That's the dilemma, sexy sugar mama. He's putting the perception of people he know out in the street and how they look at him on a high pedestal, opposed to the well-being of his children. Would it affect his livelihood? Maybe so, maybe not. In this day and age, people still supporting 6ix9ine. In this day and age, people are still supporting different ones that have made it back to the streets, that now have podcasts or moving around doing celebrity show up and walk through dates. It's very selective as to what people hold dear and what they stand on and who they support and who they don't support. They'll make excuses for somebody that they mess with. They'll make excuses for somebody that they cool with, but then they'll condemn somebody else for doing the exact same thing that the person they cool with did. Do you ever see mobs on social media? They move in silence, but we use the camera telling everything we get. That's a fact, Daz. That's a fact. D Blade from that good H-Town. Good morning to ye. That's a fact, Daz. That's a fact. His loyalty is to his children. However, some don't see it that way. Him feeling like he had to choose just baffles me. But hey, that's his life. That's it right there. That's it right there. That's it right there. Nelly Nail. At some point, we as men, I'm not gonna speak on what women should do, but I'm a man, so I'm gonna speak on what men should do. At some point, we got to look beyond the bullshit that either we've been involved in, the things that we put weight on, and put more weight on our children, more weight on our families. Because at the end of the day, when the streets either do you dirty or leave you alone, when those so-called friends, buddies, associates, gang homies, or whatever the case may be, when they start falling out with you or walking away from you or trying to line you up and all these things, your family is there. Your children are what your priority is supposed to be on, raising them to be better individuals than you were, your dad was, your granddad, your great granddad, your grandmother, your mother, all the people that are older than you, your age and older, you should be raising your children to be better than them. No matter how good of individuals they are or bad, raise them to be greater than. If something happened to your kids or the other kids, what is the street going to do for you? That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. So Cartel Bo, if somebody shares this or clips this up at some point and you see this, brother, you do what's right by your family. You do what's right by your family. Yeah, people going to have something to say. They're going to have something to say regardless of what you do, no matter which way you go with it. Some people already talking about you and you might not know it. Some people don't like you because you get a little shine. Some people going to like you because you think you might be this or that. Some people don't like you because you ain't big enough or whatever the case may be. There's always somebody that's going to not like you for something about you, whether you know it or don't know it. And the worst thing is when the MFers smile in your face and call you homie and bro and brother and all and sis and sister and all these things. That's the worst thing. When you allow people closer to you and they show you who the hell they really are. In this situation, Cartel Bo, this is your chance to stand up and be a man and show people around you what a real man should do. Prioritize his family. It should be God, family, self, others. Or if you're married, God, family. Well, family, the spouse comes up under family, so I'll leave that there. And if he feels like it will be tension, he has the money, pack up and take your kids away and move to a safer place and stay under the radar. That part right there, Nelly nailed that part. That part. I can guarantee you this. There's going to be people that's going to have something to say about it, but then there's going to be some of his homies that's going to respect him for standing up and doing the right thing. There's going to be some that's going to want to shun him, talk bad on him, and all the things, but then there's going to be others that's going whether they do it in the open or they come holler at him privately and let him know that they're proud of him and his decision to stand up for his children. Believe that. Believe that. I think we've put too much weight on the streets. We put too much reliance on the streets. We put too much love on the streets. We put too much into the streets. And the streets ain't giving it back. And a lot of the so-called love you receive is jaded. It's a mirage. And sometimes it's just there because of what you offer to certain individuals in the street or what they perceived as a rep to somebody else come along and want to prove something on your rep and on your name. Or you making too much money, so somebody gonna rat you out to the police and let them know whether they got caught by the police or they just working with the police to get you out the way because so that they can get some more money or get free or get back to the streets. There's gonna be some people that's gonna watch this and feel away, and I don't care. I'm a grown ass man. I'm definitely gonna put my children first. Whether I bust my gun for my kids or I have to go get the proper people and proper authorities to make sure my kids is right. Whichever way I choose to go at it, I'm gonna put my children first over the streets all day. I'm gonna put my children first before any man, woman on this earth. His kids are dependent on him to take care of them until they can fend for themselves. So not only is he helping his own, but their siblings. True, true. So for individuals that might see this that are either in the streets, from the streets, or your kids are in the streets, or if you a young adult in the streets, understand something. Don't make the wrong choices that might cost you your family and your life. Because at the end of the day, at some point, if you're fortunate enough to make it out from around certain things, you'll realize that certain things wasn't even worth it. Certain things wasn't even worth it. It's already in the court system, so him making a statement on the situation ain't gonna change a thing. That's the thing. It'll make it a open and shut, more of an open and shut case. But yeah, the state can definitely pick it up and prosecute on their own. Every time reasons why I left the streets as is, or I still my kids saved me. That part right there. That's it right there, Peeps King. Grow the figgity up. We got to grow the hell up. We represented hard for the streets. But if we could do that and or can do that, we need to represent even that much harder for our children and for our families, for our marriages, for our, our family. And anybody that sees it any other way, you need to get them from the hell around you. Anybody that sees it any other way, you need to get them from the hell around you. Get them the hell from around you. Because they mean you no good. They mean you no good. And they don't care about your future or for your families. But any man that's a father will understand. Any woman that's a mother will understand. No matter what your affiliation is to some gang or to some organization or to some whatever. Anybody of of any substance will understand you doing what a father needs to do over what they might want you to do otherwise, or what somebody else might want you to do otherwise. You stupid Peeps King. That's because that Fenty in them. But anywho, Cartel Bo, you got a choice to make, Slim. Either you're gonna make the grown man choice or you're gonna make the hood nigga choice. Excuse my French. You got a choice to make, brother. Your mom, your family, then put you on notice. You either gonna do right by them kids by doing what you supposed to do, excuse me, and need to do, or we ain't effing with you no more. Both don't stand on that. Hey, you'll be able to live with yourself so much more better. You hear me? I'm gonna move on. But this story leads me into the next part, or whatever the case may be. Beware of individuals that are quick to fall out with you. Beware of the ones that claim they got your back, DC Mumbo Sauce, Frank Murphy, what's good? Get your Kango ready in the rope chain. Let's get it. Beware the individuals that act like they rock with you. They call you bro, they call you brother, they call you sis, they call you family, they call you their lover. Hell, in some instances, you married to them. Shit. Be careful of the ones who fall out with things. That means they've always, or maybe not always, but they've been. I would only be conflicted about getting my kid's mom in trouble. Some women make crazy decisions when under emotional distress, but F the street cred. Now that's a fact too, Charlie Hustle. That's a frenemy situation. You feel me?
And another thing, a friend who immediately turns into your enemy over a misunderstanding without wanting to clear anything up was always your enemy. This was a hard lesson for me to learn, and I want you to sit with that because real love, real friendship, real connection, it creates space. Space to say, that hurt me. Space to ask, what actually happened? Space to be human with each other without the relationship becoming a casualty. People we genuinely care about, we move toward them when things get hard, not away, not against. I have lived long enough to know that conflict reveals character in ways that comfort never will. When something goes sideways between two people, watch what happens next. Does that person reach for understanding or are they running for an exit? Do they protect the connection? Or are they protecting their pride? That answer tells you everything you need to know. And here's the part that used to sting, but now it just feels like clarity. Not every friendship you lose is actually a loss. Sometimes the misunderstanding did not break something that was whole. It just showed you something that was already there up underneath the surface. Healthy people do not go looking for reasons to write you off. They go looking for reasons to stay. And the ones who cannot wait to make you a villain, they were never really in your corner to begin with, my darling. Grieve it if you need to, then let it go. Your peace is not worth trading for people who were never holding it sacred anyway. I love you.
There we go. There we go. Can y'all hear me now? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I apologize. Somebody hit him on the red phone. Can y'all hear me? Damn it, Jim. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me now? Okay. We back like cook crack. We back like cook crack, ladies and gentlemen. There was a glitch going on. I apologize about that. I don't know if y'all got saw the video footage that I put up. I'm gonna replay it or whatever the case may be. I'm gonna replay it. Des has said I see a lot of that on X on some platforms, and some people don't see that. See, man, listen. But yeah, I'm gonna replay that video, even if you did see it, just for the full effect of it all. But yeah, y'all check this out. I don't know what the hell was going on, but we gonna have at it. We gonna have at it. You hear me?
And another thing, a friend who immediately turns into your enemy over a misunderstanding without wanting to clear anything up was always your enemy. This was a hard lesson for me to learn, and I want you to sit with that because real love, real friendship, real connection, it creates space. Space to say, that hurt me. Space to ask, what actually happened? Space to be human with each other without the relationship becoming a casualty. People we genuinely care about, we move toward them when things get hard, not away, not against. I have lived long enough to know that conflict reveals character in ways that comfort never will. When something goes sideways between two people, watch what happens next. Does that person reach for understanding, or are they running for an exit? Do they protect the connection, or are they protecting their pride? That answer tells you everything you need to know. And here's the part that used to sting, but now it just feels like clarity. Not every friendship you lose is actually a loss. Sometimes the misunderstanding did not break something that was whole. It just showed you something that was already there up underneath the surface. Healthy people do not go looking for reasons to write you off. They go looking for reasons to stay. And the ones who cannot wait to make you a villain, they were never really in your corner to begin with, my darling.
Say that.
Grieve it if you need to, then let it go. Your peace is not worth trading for people who were never holding it sacred anyway. I love you.
Talk to him. Talk to him, mama. Talk to him, auntie. True Jim, what's good, huh? What up, huh? Ran to the store right quick. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Okay. I got word that I'm goody like the mob now. I got word that I'm goody like the mob. What she said was so profound, and I just love her tone and the way she delivered that message, and it's a very timely message. I was thinking back to what I was talking about on Wednesday, and just thinking back about some of the things I done went through on these internet streets with certain individuals or whatever the case may be. And one, just self-reflecting on my part of things or the things that I've done or the things that I've, dealt with. But more importantly, and I ain't gonna say more importantly, but also looking at the motives of others and how they handled things or how they did certain things or said certain things or acted out a certain way or whatever the case may be. And it was just so profound. Not all people you befriend is a friend. You may be a friend to them, yet they're only an associate to you. Misunderstanding amongst friends becomes stronger. Amongst associates is done. That's a fact, sexy sugar mama. That's a fact. You said she looked like Mama Flip and talk like her very smart ladies, the way they talk about talk. Shout out to Mama Flip. That's a fact. That was the auntie Dez was trying to hook you up with, Phil. You said that's Dez on? the point of it all, right? We got to be mindful, right? First of all, it's convoluted. Rich Hart said, "What the what?" It's convoluted. Uh, how people look at friendships and how quick people look to call people friends on these internet streets. Ain't never been around each other or even been in deep, sustaining conversations to even feel like there's a closeness or a bond there, but are quick to call each other friends or whatever, and then fall out for the most suckerish of ish or the wackest of disagreements or whatever the case may be, as opposed to it just being that a disagreement, as opposed to it being just that a misunderstanding, as opposed to it being just a momentary um thing where we're not on the same page or whatever the case may be. And it gives you an opportunity to see people rear their ugly heads or their real personas or what they really feel about you or things that they've talked behind the scenes about you, and now it's come to light or whatever the case may be, as opposed to them being men or women enough to have a conversation with you and say, I'm gonna use me, Phil, I don't like that you did this, or Phil, I don't agree that you did this, or Phil, I'm not happy because of this, or whatever the case may be. But then hold you to a high standard to say, Phil, how dare you react like this, or Phil, how dare you speak like this, or Phil, how dare you just cut somebody off, or not care that somebody's no longer in your world, or whatever the case may be. We all we all have to take accountability into who we call friend, who we call lover, who we call spouse, who we call business partner or associate, who we associate with, period, and who we allow in our circle, whether it be physically in the presence or virtually on these internet streets. That's a fact. I'm about to hit her up on the back of you, crazy peepski. Well, Phil, we have to see you find love, Phil to love tonight. What? Listen. Oh, by the way, Feel the Love Fridays is tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ladies and gentlemen, come be a part of the adult conversation. Lituation, huh? Where we talk about love, romance, sex, intimacy, relationships, courting, dating, and all the things there within. Very sexy, very spicy, and sometimes salacious. Feel the Love Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, I think this wonderful lady and her words of wisdom just nailed it for me. Just nailed it for me. Some of y'all have seen some of the experiences and things that I've gone through, or whatever the case may be, with different individuals, male and female, or whatever the case may be. Some of y'all said, Phil, you handled it superbly in some circumstances. Some y'all said, Phil, you could have went lighter, you could have handled it a different way. We are all human, right? We are all human. But then there's some that have been waiting to have the fallout. There's some that have been having secret animosities, not even rightfully placed, not even a rightful reason or a substantial reason to act the way that they have, or spread a narrative, or shoot a lie here and there, or talk down, or whatever the case may be. And I'm not just talking about me and my circumstances. I'm talking about with various individuals, or whatever the case may be. But it is what it is. Peepskin, yeah, whatever. Peepskin, you lying. Peepskin said if I get Milfy to pop out tonight, then he'll cam up. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Have at it. Have at it. But yeah, folks, just be mindful of who you call friend, who you call lover, who you get married to, who you align yourself with, who you click up with, who you claim that you ride or die for, who you call bro, who you call brother, who you call sis, who you call sister. Be mindful of all the things. Build experience, build relationships with these individuals. And even with that, sometimes those relationships could be false or short lived or not all that they seem to be, or a mirage. So you just have to, one, more so do your due diligence, trust your gut, listen to your discernment, and put in the time. If you feel as though that person is someone that might be a good friend or something like that, put in the time and effort to build that solid foundation. Don't go off of perception. Don't go off of persona. Don't go off of the sleight of hand of these internet streets and what it shows you and how people talk and what they show you. Take the time to grow with somebody. Wish I had known this at an early age. Hey, Nelly Nell, we all, you hear me? We all, you fear me? Some of the individuals I done called friend and buddied up with and all the things. Listen, so I probably wouldn't have went through half the things I done went through in this life and time had I been a little bit wiser in that area. We all fall short, most of us. You know what I'm talking about? Some of y'all are just super individuals. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't never been through nothing, ain't never had nobody stab you in the back, ain't never had nobody backbite your paws, never had nobody cheat on you, ain't never had nobody do you wrong, ain't never. You done had the perfect, pristine life, haven't you? But as for me and mama, be transparent and be real about it. A true friend would take some time to weigh the matter out and come back to you with understanding and fix what the discrepancy was about and vice versa. Someone who's just taking up space will move on. That's it right there, sexy sugar mama. And see me, that's why I'm glad she said that and I'm glad we talking about this. This is why a lot of times I will pull back and go to my corner so that I won't either further exacerbate or further ruin the potential or the current friendship or relationship or association with somebody. Sometimes I'll pull back to my corner because I know when I get upset, I could go off. So I'll just back up so I can woo-saw so that if it is addressed at a later time, I can address it in the best, most amicable way possible. But some people don't see it as that. Some people see it as you slighting them by either going silent or not willing to deal with the situation or them in the moment, not realizing sometimes it's best to table disagreements. Sometimes it's best to put it on the table, as they say, or come back to it when clearer heads can prevail, when clearer minds can prevail. Some people don't look at it like that. No, I want to talk about it now. No, I want to get to it now. No, you said you did. I. And usually all that does is exacerbate the situations and cause for things to go even further left than what they was. You feel me? Young Dre's, look at you. Old ass people still going through it and know better. Talk about it, Daz. Don't even know what the issue was, but sometimes it's best to take it for what it's worth and keep the distance. I love you from afar. That part, huh? Even if you lose a so-called friend, even if you lose a so-called lover or love interest or whatever the case may be, sometimes you got to stand on principle and stick with your gut because sometimes the red flags have been on the table. The writing has been on the wall. Sometimes we act oblivious and sometimes we are truly blind to what other people see. You get what I'm saying? But when your ass wake up and when your eyes get clear, walk the hell away from. And in my situation, maybe I could have had a little bit more patience with certain things, but when I noticed that certain individuals were acting or reacting certain ways unnecessarily or carrying it too far, that let me know that there was something else there, that they always was feeling a way about something and they probably wanted to do something long before or say something long before or fall out long before and I'll just cut them the hell off. Not necessarily that I'm keeping animosity or whatever the case may be, but for my own peace, for my own serenity, for my own sanity. Sometimes it is best to just go on and let them out the door and close the door and lock it behind you. You feel me? You know why I'm never mad and always happy? It's the greens. I don't hear nothing. Damn it, Daz. He said, Hakuna Matata. Hey, D, roll up another one. Hakuna Matata. Shout out to that. You know, like I said, in some cases, in some things, I probably would have handled some things a little bit differently. But in other cases, it was definitely meant to be just what the hell it was. Just the hell it was. Either I might have fell short in an instance, or I was too much of a friend or cared too much about certain individuals, male and female, then they damn sure cared about me, or being more of a friend or friend-like to them than they ever was to me. And with that, I'm okay with that. With that, I'm serene in the fact that we no longer converse, we no longer, around each other, we no longer, deal with each other in any capacity. That part. If I don't consider you family, then you never was a friend. That part, peep scheme, that part. That part. But it be the ones that be parading and acting like they so solid and so loyal and so this and so that. But then when you pay close attention, they ain't loyal, they ain't even loyal to their damn self. And how they operate, how they move, the way that they talk, who they deal with, what they tolerate, and all the things be a big ass mirage. Be a big ass mirage. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna sum this up by saying just honor and cherish the real relationships, friendships, love interests that are doing the same with you. Love is reciprocal. Loyalty should be reciprocal. Respect should definitely be reciprocal. And pay attention, take heed to those that are moving slimy, stinky, jealous, envious, miserable, and all the things. And remove that from your life so that you can live more peaceful. You feel me? On that note, though, ladies and gentlemen, Feel the Love Fridays is tonight. Also, I got an opportunity for certain individuals. There's a clothing line that's launching. It's not the Big Phil Speaks merch, but it's a clothing line to which you have an opportunity to get some free merch and make some money. Holla at me. Must be serious. This ain't just for those that just want to know something or be nosy and all that. It'll be worth your while, and you might gain more than just some money out of it. You gain some free merch and some other things or whatever the case may be. However, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I see y'all later on. Smile, ladies and gentlemen, because you never know what it might mean to somebody, including yourself. More importantly, love on somebody on purpose, with purpose, and shake them bammers and haters the hell off. Last but not least, I'm not anti-you. I'm pro-me, but with the emphasis on building we. So let that marinate in your melon till the next time we could chop it up and have a tay-to-tay. Until that day, baby. Holla. That's a fact, sexy sugar mama. That's a fact of mundo.
We're one big happy family. One big happy family. Hey, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you come back again. Tell a friend, tell a friend. It's GMG and Big Phil Speech.
Peep skin, you bugged out. Y'all have a good one, ladies and gentlemen. If you ain't outside, and if you're inside, come holler at me later on for Feel the Love Fridays. Until then, make the day the best day ever. While you're at it, plan, plot, and strategize so that if you're so blessed to see mañana tomorrow, you make it an even better day than the day. That part, I'm up out of here. Love y'all on purpose. You feel me? With purpose.